So yes, we're back again today, and man, first of all, I was just listening to this new joint that I got. It's so dope. I just love it. It's from Kenya, but I don't know if I should let y'all hear it. But it's really dope though. Dun, 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 dun. Yo, but today I'm back again. Yes, 2 videos in one day. Man, I'm working, right? 2 videos in one day. 2 in 1, yeah. 2 videos in one day. Today, right now, this video, I will be talking about why not visit Africa? You know, I think that Africa gets a very, very bad stereotype as a continent. And it's messed up because, you know, when we're in America, they never show us, actually, excuse me for 1 second. Thought I saw somebody in there. But, you know, it gets a bad stereotype, and it's really sad because, you know, I'm not saying that there's not a lot of African Americans and a lot of other people of African descent, whether it be Brazil, Jamaica, Cuba. I know a lot of Cubans, Afro-Cubans go to Africa, or, you know, some that I've heard or seen or known. Not saying all of them do, but it's a shame that we have this bad stereotype about Africa as a continent. And we know little to no knowledge about African cities, beautiful African cities, you know, and we're not always basing, at least me, I don't base cities off of the newest technology or the best, you know, whatever. Because, like, for instance, I had a friend that only really likes to go to cities, and, you know, I guess we're talking about in America at this point, only likes to go to cities that are big, huge cities, which, you know, I'm a city person, so I definitely understand that aspect of it. But when they go to the cities, they don't go for culture. They go for just the same thing that they do in the city that they live in. And, you know, we're not saying it's a bad thing. You know, well, it is a bad thing to me, but I'm not saying it's a bad thing to everyone. Everyone might not think like that. But when I go somewhere, I want to experience the city, and I want to experience the country or the city, regardless of how small or how big it is. I can have fun regardless of how technologically advanced it is or how much it isn't. I'm not going to a city necessarily, at least when I go on vacation, to learn about the new technologies of that city. I'm going for the culture. It's not that I'm not into technology and a technological man and advancing and all that, whatever. But when I go on vacation, I'm not necessarily thinking about that. I'm thinking about the culture of the city and the people and the fun and the ancient culture. And I think a lot of us, you know, especially African Americans, the first place that we will try to run to is, you know, Europe. And I'm like, you know, I mean, I get it. I understand why, you know, there's 2 different reasons why a lot of the colonization of Europe, of Africa, has stolen a lot of our riches. So they have profited, just like America, off of our riches or off of manpower from Africa, whatever, whether it be human, organic, natural resources, or whether it be just natural, raw resources like diamonds and gold and all this kind of stuff that made these empires ridiculously rich. I can understand the point that you know nothing about Africa and you know nothing about any of the cities, but you see, and they always portray Paris and France and all these places, which I have nothing wrong with these places. I'm just saying I have no desire to go to. More so probably because I'm a tropical person anyways, and I mean, yeah, say south of Spain, all this kind of stuff, but whatever. But I'm not materialistic, and I'm a tropical person. So those places, Europe is not really too much on my list of places to go, other than to learn about history, you know, of my people in Europe. Really, that's so. You know, other than that, I really don't have a desire to go. I know a lot of people do, but I don't. But I think a lot of people, I'm not necessarily talking about people that are into culture or into history or into arts. I think that it's more people that are just ignorant, that are just taking vacations, which is probably, it's a big number. I don't want to even call it, but I would like to say at least probably 60% of our people, or 50 to 60% of our people around the world would rather go those places instead of the places that we've built or had. And yeah, you know, some of the places you might go might have that 1,000-star restaurant, right? I'm exaggerating. I know it's not 1,000 stars, but 1,000-star restaurant or whatever. But To me, I don't think that cuisine, I don't think there's such thing as the best cuisine. I think that the world has the best of wherever they're at. The world has that. So if you're in Africa, the world has the best cooks in those countries. If you're in Asia, the world has the best cooks in those countries. If you're in India, the world has those best cooks. I don't think that cuisine is something, even if it is advanced, I don't think that I think it's relative. I don't think that's something that somebody can be better than at somebody, if there's the best cooks in these different places. Now, you might be able to cook and you might know how to cook different things, a lot of different things from a lot of different cultures. I'm not saying that. That can make you a better cook, but I don't think that there's any mecca of food anywhere. I think there's good cooks everywhere. To me, I just prefer African and black food the most because I'm African American, so I prefer soul food. As far as African American food, I prefer Caribbean food, and I prefer any black dishes for the most part, because a lot of them are I don't want to say they're all the same, because they're not all the same, but a lot of them share a lot of things, equal things, whether it be dumplings, or even though they might be cooked a little bit differently some places, or whether it be rice and peas. One thing I know between all black people around the whole world is that, you gonna find that chicken, you gonna find that rice, and you gonna find them beans. So everything else after that is whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm a vegan, I don't eat chicken, but I'm just saying those are things that I know for sure that you will find. So if you're one of those people that are scared, don't be scared. Eat any black food in the world. It's good food. There's some things you're not gonna like, and there's some things you're gonna like. Just like if you're African American, there's some African American foods. I hate chitlins. I will never eat chitlins. I never ate them my whole life. Pig intestines, I will never eat it, and I just never will. But some people love it. Now I'm a vegan, I guess. I'm really out the picture, but when I did eat meat, I would never eat it. It really, when it was cooked, it stinked, and the whole house, and literally it gave me nauseating. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily my parents didn't cook it, but my grandparents cooked it. One of my grandparents, side of my grandparents, and so it was nauseating to me. And when I was there, it gave me a headache, and it made me get out the house, and I didn't want to be there, and I didn't want to eat it. I didn't want to eat it, but I didn't want to smell it. And when I got outside, I felt like, wow, this is fresh air. This is fresh air after all this chitlin smell all throughout the whole house. Disgusting, right? But in the same sense, if you're African American, and I'm speaking to you a lot because a lot of y'all are hard-headed, if you're African American, try different foods. Go try Somali food. Go try Ethiopian food. Go try Jamaican food, which I'm pretty sure you probably had Caribbean food because it's close and it's safe to a lot of people in the Western Hemisphere, right? Because we know more about it, I guess. Or try, Afro-Brazilian food, or Afro-Honduran, or, Haitian food, or Afro-Puerto Rican food, or whatever it might be. So I guess that's the cuisine side. Now the history side, I guess a lot of people don't know history about Africa, so it's a lot of people think that Africa has no history, or the history is recent, that like there wasn't ancient history, like we didn't have a lot of things that we created, even things that we might not ever know of because they were buried in war between colonizers and non-colonizers, or between different black people, or they're just so old, hundreds of thousands of years old, that they just don't exist. Or maybe they're under the Sahara Desert. That's another video I'm gonna make about what the heck is under the Sahara Desert. There's probably a lot of things under there that we don't know, and probably a lot of things under the Sahara Desert that can give us questions, because Sahara Desert has a cycle of being a forest, then a desert, a forest, then a desert. So we're probably not gonna be around when it goes back to being a forest. Hopefully it does again. But if it does, there's probably so many artifacts under there. There's probably so many tropical things, under there, chips, whatever, who knows what could be under there, machines that we made thousands of years ago, who knows, just remember, just because you have things now doesn't mean that they weren't before. So just remember that. It doesn't mean just because certain things are mainstream and somebody created it or whatever, blah, blah, that somebody else didn't create it, or if it wasn't already around, but people just didn't want to share. Every person's not the same. Every person doesn't want to share their ideas. Some people want to just make it for their village. Some people want to make it for their country, whatever, blah, blah. So other than that, the reason I'm making this video is because I think a lot of people go to Europe instead of Africa because they don't know, for one thing, they don't know a lot about Africa. Two, as a continent. Two, it's a bad stereotype that Europe is better and Africa's not, or America's better and Africa's not. My thing is to explore Africa. When you have that wedding, not too mad if you go to Jamaica or Bahamas or whatever. I understand that. But go to Africa. Why not? If you could afford it. I'm talking to people who can afford it. I understand money's the issue. I'm not gonna lie. We live across the pond, as they call it, right? So we live across the ocean in America or wherever you live. But the Caribbeans. But you can save money just like you save money to go anywhere else and have your wedding. So why go to, you know, somewhere else in Europe or you know, in America, as far as like, you know, if you're getting married or whatever, a vacation? Why not save money up and go to, let's say, Addis in Ethiopia? It's a very beautiful city. Very, very beautiful city. And they have, you know, very obviously tropical climate. It's Ethiopia. And they have a lot of deep culture, a lot of different ethnic groups in Ethiopia, you know, in Addis, a lot of nightlife, beautiful nightlife, big city, nice city, you know, good city. And how about visit there? Or how about visit, you know, Lagos, Nigeria? Or how about visit one of the places I really, really would love to go other than Addis? I mean, I want to go everywhere in Africa. So it's just going to take time in my life, but is Angola. You know, why not go to the capital of Angola? You know, I mean, there's so many beautiful places in Africa that you can go visit. Why not visit South Africa? Why not visit, you know, Egypt? Why not visit, you know, Morocco? Why not visit so many different kind of places in Africa and there's so many beautiful cities and just so much culture and so much ancient history, and buildings and things that are even older, you know, just all kind of things that are there, different landmarks that are ancient for thousands of years that are still there that they never talk about on TV, like certain places in Senegal and Ghana, and just ancient stuff, almost the same stuff, way older than like the Leaning Tower of Pisa and all these other little things, you know, that you would go see when you're in Europe. And, you know, like I said, I know there's black people in Europe too, so I'm not saying there's anything bad about going to visit your brothers and sisters in Europe, or just to go see certain sites of the world, because we were everywhere around the world, even before, you know, whatever history wants to say. We were everywhere. Black people were everywhere, and we traveled everywhere, and we went everywhere. And we, you know, these new places are not new to us. America wasn't new to us. It was new to Europeans. It wasn't new to the natives that were here at the time. It wasn't new to the black people that were here at the time with the native people. You know, it wasn't new to a lot of the people around the world that had maps and had different things that traveled, but it was new to Europeans. So, like I said, it was not that we necessarily can't go everywhere in this world. It's just that I feel that there's a negative stereotype about going back to Africa and enjoying your life. And how about going to see the savannah? You always wanted to go see the savannah. How about going to see the savannah? Or how about going to see Mount Kilimanjaro? You know, or how about go and see snow in Africa? Because it does snow in Africa, depending on what part you go to in the mountains and things. It does snow. Yes, it snows in Africa. So, you know, I just want to make a video today that I want to tell people that we must take trips back to the motherland. We should take trips back to the motherland. It's a beautiful place. I've been there. You should want to go there. It's beautiful. I mean, beautiful, more beautiful than you can understand. And it's sad that in media, especially in the Western hemisphere, you know, it's always about the animals in Africa. It's always about the Serengeti, or it's always about the wide open thing with lions and tigers and things like that, even though there's a lot of things that you could die from in America. There's a lot of animals that could kill you in America. There's a lot of animals that could kill you in Europe. There's a lot of animals everywhere in the world that they could kill you, you know. But and not taking nothing wrong away from that, because it's very beautiful. I love animals. I love Serengeti. It's beautiful, but I think some people see it differently. I see it as that's a part of Africa, but it's not the only part of Africa, and it's not the only way Africa looks. And some people take it as that's the way Africa looks, and that's how everybody is, and that's what they're doing. Is there's different places. There's the city. There's the big cities in Africa where people still have their tradition and culture. Some don't. Some's losing it. Some are trying to be more Western or whatever, or new, modern, whatever you want to call it. Moving on, I guess. And then you also have people in the city that are more still culturally, you know, stick to traditions, not necessarily maybe as old traditions as people out, you know, that are live in the villages or in the different ethnic groups that are nomads running around from country to country or whatever it might be, but still in some shape, form, and fashion, they're still traditional. But you have the city, you have all your amenities, you have the best, you know, why don't you go take and drink some palm wine? Palm wine, I want to drink palm wine. I've been wanting to drink palm wine forever and ever and ever. I've never had it, and oh my God, out of all the West African movies I've watched, I want palm wine. That's one of the things that I want. I'm going to get it. Or why not go to, you know, East Africa and get banana beer? I've always wanted banana beer. You know, actually, I was drinking something the other day with my friend, and she said that what I was drinking smelled like banana beer. I can't remember really what it was, but if it tasted like what I was drinking with alcohol, I want it. You know, so, you know, how about try all these things, but it's sad that the media always portrays Africa as being a place that is, you know, just animals and people are not whatever civilized means. Civilized means nothing. Civilized is based off of another cultures, another ethnic group, what they think about another ethnic group or another culture, and how they live their life. The civilized, I hate that civilized, throw it out the window. People will let them live the way they want to live. If you want to live traditionally in the village and be a nomad, live that way. It's Earth. You shouldn't be able to live that way. If you want to live in the city and do the dang thing, yo, live in the city and do your thing. But I hate how media shows us you know, always the bad side, but you never show us, when do you show us African cities in Western media? You know, I can't necessarily speak all the way on Europe, but you know, I've never really seen too much stuff in Europe, but I could be wrong. And if I am, correct me. You know, but I've said I don't live in Europe, but from what I've seen, I've never seen it. And in America, I never see it. I never see it. You know, I never see it. Why don't you show me the big cities in Africa? Are you scared African Americans will go back and Jamaicans and Haitians and spend our money economically with our people, which we should be doing anyway? Are you scared that when we see these big cities, we'll go back and we will live there and, you know, try to develop these cities and own all our natural resources and stop Western countries from owning our resources? Or is that what you're scared of? They always paint a bad image of Africa as if there's no beautiful place to go in Africa, and there's way more beautiful places than people could even imagine and think about. Yo, I'm gonna get on my Ghana Nigerian stuff. I'm just gonna repeat things, the ends of sentences. Imagine, more beautiful than you can think about. So, you know, I just wanted to make this video, this vlog, because I just wanted the people to understand that Africa is more than what they show you. Way more. They only show you a small part of somewhere that animals live at, which is nothing wrong with that, because they're beautiful animals, and I'm in touch with nature, so, you know, I love animals, and I would love to see them, but I'm just saying that it's so beautiful. In the Western media, what do they show you? America, they show you LA, they show you, oh, the life and the glam and glitzer, New York City, and all these movies, and blah, this, blah, that. But do they show you the populations of African Americans that are living in poor neighborhoods? In Detroit, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna show you how Detroit looks right now. You know, whoever's watching around the world, or, you know, places in Ohio that are poverty, like Cleveland and Columbus, certain places, or places in New York that are poverty, where a big part of African Americans are in poverty. I'm not saying African Americans are the only ones in poverty. I'm just saying, since this is a African-centered channel, African Americans are in poverty. So, you know, they'll never show you that. They don't want to show you that on TV. I mean, yeah, on the news, but they don't want to show you that when it's time to come visit and travel places. But you should show everybody everything. But when you show Africa, you only show where animals are, or only where there's war-torn places at, if there is war-torn places, or if there's somebody that's at war at that moment. So I'm here to tell you, I'm the black media right now, and I'm telling you, yo, there is millions of bad places in America that you don't want to be. Millions. You know, not necessarily millions, but hundreds of, you know, thousands of places in America that you really don't want to live and don't want to wake up to every day. You know, everything's not glamour and glitz in America. And actually, a lot of people come to America and they wish they could go back home, or they want to go back home because life is a lot simpler. You know, just because you don't have money doesn't mean you're any worse or any better than anybody in this world. And a lot of people in this country have gotten that messed up to where they think that money means everything. How civilized you are, how good of a person you are, all that kind of stuff. So I'm the black media right now, and I'm telling you, yo, Africa's good. There's beautiful places to go. And I'm going to show you at the end of this video, I'm going to show you a lot of places, a lot of cities, different places that you can go. And if you need to know more about it, yo, you can holler at me, and I will try to help you out, or friends that I have that are from these different places that can help you out. So as always, yo, more vacations in Africa. Next time I want to see you in Africa, I want to go back very, very soon. And yeah, as always, yo, I'm about to go eat. Peace. One love.